Hello Georgetown, I'm Beverly Enos and you're watching Spotlight Georgetown. You can find us Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 in the morning and 8 in the evening. Quite often you'll find us at other times, either with this particular show or sometimes shows that we have taped before. If there's a show that you would like to see repeated, please call the station or email Janet or myself and we'll make sure that we get that run for you. You can always find the shows on YouTube through the Georgetown website. If you need information on that, let me know and I'll help you through it. Now, we're Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. This is your cable station. It's a Georgetown cable station. It's paid for by your cable bill. So if you'd like to come and be part of it, or learn how to use the cameras, or learn how to do editing, something for this show, or something for your own organization, just let us know and we will make it happen. Now, today we're talking to Dana DiLorenzo and Donna Mullison. And we're talking about the building supply and stone pantry and that whole block of shops.
Yep.
All that area. So a little bit of different things. Now, you don't live in Georgetown.
No.
Where do you live?
I live in Kennebunk, Maine.
That's a long commute.
It's not too bad. It's about 50 minutes door to door. So
And you come at hours that there's no traffic.
for the most part, yeah, I'm in the morning and then I'm going opposite traffic on the way home, yeah.
What time do you show up in the mornings down there?
Between 6:30,
Yeah,
6 o'clock sometimes.
because you have a lot of construction people coming in to pick things up.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, what about you, Donna?
I live in Wells, which is right next to Kennebunk, which is the same.
Everybody travels.
Yeah.
Sometimes we ride in together, so it's good.
Oh, that's not bad. And
Yeah.
you are brother and sister.
Yes, we're
Yes.
brother and sister.
So if people
Yep.
didn't realize that.
Yep.
I didn't realize that for a while when you
Yeah.
first opened
Yeah.
Stone Pantry.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No. Do you each have other families?
Yes.
And
I have a wife, Louise, and 3 children, Maria, Nico, and Dante.
what ages are they? They're older.
Yeah, Maria is, she'll be graduating from John Cabot University in Rome this year.
Wow.
She's been over there for 2.5 years.
What is she studying in Rome?
She's studying basically a branding, if you were going to brand a company, from Facebook to, web pages and pushing yourself out there. And then she goes to Webster University in Amsterdam for a master's degree. I have
This girl.
and I have a 20-year-old boy who goes to Colgate
Okay.
in Hamilton, New York,
know
and he
where that
plays
is.
lacrosse for him. And he is a sophomore. And then I have a freshman, a 14-year-old Dante, and he's in high school and doing well.
So you've got them kind of spanned out
I
through
have
the
them
years.
spread, yes, all over the place too.
Well, that makes it easier that you don't have to pay for all those college tuitions all at the same time.
No, but they never end. Just perpetual.
Professional students.
Yeah.
My brother was one of those for a long time. Yeah. My daughter was one for a while. Yeah, that's how it goes. How about you, Donna?
I'm married to Ken Mollison. He's a heavy electrical. I have 3 girls. One's musical theater in New York City. The other one does art therapy. That does the art classes at the Stone Pantry. And the other one's going to college at Johnson & Wales for equine science.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy, they're all spread out all over the place, aren't
Yeah, and Dana's boys work at the building supply, which is really nice too. That they're there in the summertime.
they? Oh, you get to have
We
them
get
around.
them in the summer. I don't
Yeah.
have any boys, but they're awesome to have around.
But your daughter does do the painting things.
Oh yes, she does.
Okay, so-
Noelle does.
So there's
the
still
painting.
family.
Oh yes, yeah. So we have family.
Now, how long has the Georgetown Building Supply been in Georgetown?
I know my dad had bought the property back in I believe it was 1952.
Wow.
And he opened the store, I believe, in 1954. And before that, he had a Danvers concrete block he opened right after World War II in 1947.
In Danvers.
In Danvers, where they made block physically by hand.
How do you make block by hand? Like pour the cement block?
Pour the
Yeah,
cement
the
and
train would
molds and put
come,
them in
it was
steam
the- yeah.
rooms, and it was a long process back then.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
And do you know what made him switch and come up to Georgetown?
They were just expanding at the time. It was another part that he could, another area where he could expand another business.
When it first came up, was it still called Danvers Cement Block?
No, it was
Okay.
Georgetown Building
So,
Supply,
always.
and Danvers Concrete Block at the time was still in Danvers. And they both had, Danvers was more masonry back then because that's what the needs were.
Huh.
And the Building Supply was more of an industrial building supply. And they just expanded it from there. They always sold a little bit of loose material and, certainly mason materials back then.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the landscape materials you saw because there was no need of it. There wasn't really developed
Yeah.
that part of it until, well, the 70s, really.
Now, to me, having pretty much grown up here, Georgetown Building Supply, it's like it was always there, and it was for builders,
Sure.
which it really isn't. It's for everybody.
Yes. Yeah. We've changed. One of the changes we made at it was we did get a new vendor in a few years ago. So along with just the general cleaning and changing it to a more homeowner-friendly store, this new vendor that we got, which is called Orgel, is one of the largest hardware suppliers in the world. They're in England, they're in Brazil, they're all over the place. But their product line is very unique. They have everything from, food all the way up to log splitters. They just have an enormous line. So they don't specifically go into any one thing, but they're just a huge, huge supplier. And they've helped us redo the store to make it more homeowner friendly. And with the expansion that we just did, our product lines in each department has tripled.
Okay. Can we go back and have a little more history about that whole block of stores?
Sure.
Now, he bought the whole block at the time, or he bought just the building supply?
He had the building supply there. And in 1978, they moved Danvers concrete block from Danvers to Georgetown.
I knew I saw the name up there
Yep.
for a
Yeah.
while. Okay.
Yeah, it was on that big god-awful sign.
Yes.
And that was in 1978, and they ran both companies out of that one place.
All right. And his brother was involved.
Yes.
There were two brothers involved in the property at
Correct.
one point.
Correct. So they were together in business up until about 1990, and then they split, where my uncle Chick took out back, and my dad had the front in the liquor store.
Okay. All right. So that's how that
There's
all
two
went.
how that
pieces
split
of
was, yes.
property, correct.
So that now that's all been put back together as one.
When that family had passed away, Tony as well as Chick, the property came up for sale, and about 4 years ago, Donna and I bought it.
Under Bedrock Realty.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're co-owners of the entire.
Of the Bedrock.
Of everything that's there.
Just Bedrock. Just Bedrock we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the old
Yeah.
Danvers concrete block,
Yep.
we're partners in. It's called Bedrock, which is basically a realty company that
Where
Okay.
the Stone Pantry is, where the Team League is, Honeydew.
front portion.
Correct.
Yes, and the
Okay.
back garage.
And the
Yeah,
back
it's
garage.
just kind of, we just kind of all,
Put it all together.
yeah.
Now, when did you personally get involved?
Well, I mean, I've been working there since I was a young kid. I came on full time after college in about 1990. I started working there full time. The joke is that my father had gotten sick and needed someone there, so I gave up a job that I was doing to go there to basically work, as my wife would say, for the weekend.
I never left.
That was 30 years ago, and I've been there ever since.
Now, what was you said you had graduated from college. Was your college degree in anything to do with what you're doing now?
No, I actually have a degree in aviation with a commercial pilot's license.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you still fly?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time. And
Takes a lot of time.
having
Time and
3
money.
kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that kind of eats into
Yeah.
all
It
that
does.
free money. Yeah.
It does,
It
yeah.
does. It does. Now, when did you get involved with
Well,
the actual
we were
functional?
we always growing up were always there. Every Saturday we had to go to work with my father. I mean, we were always there and a part of things, as he was building along the business. I left probably I was with Dana for a while, left about 10 years to have a child and move on. And then I've been back for probably, 5 years now?
Yeah, about 5 years.
This is
we've
when
been
a lot
back
of the
together.
changes are taking place.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
when and how did you go from the basic building supply into all of the stone? You've got amazing stone out there.
Sure. What had happened, like anything else, the market changed, come probably the late 70s, mid 80s, where people were staying home and developing their homes into better living areas. And it's probably been I would say maybe the last 10 years, where they've really gone and done a lot of outside living areas where you have outdoor kitchens and outdoor fireplaces. And
Fire pits and patios.
Exactly, yes. So that our stone has increased because that demand was there. And that's what people are looking for now. They're looking to make their home their castle, so to speak.
Outdoor living and staying home and being with the family and fire pits and,
We talked a little bit earlier
Yeah.
before we started taping. I've always wanted a pergola.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
that type of thing.
Exactly.
People have these little things that when I have the time or when I have the money or when I have both,
Right.
I would like to do this or
Right.
this to my home.
Yeah.
And I think with the lines that they have now, before you had to hire a professional to come in and build these, and now a lot of them are homeowner friendly, where it's a kit, you can put it together with minimal instruction, and a lot of people are doing it themselves.
Don't be looking at me when you say that.
So you can build a pergola, I know you can.
Actually, I have a wall behind my gardens, a retaining wall, about 3 or 4 foot high,
You can
that
do
I
it.
bought all the
Yeah.
pieces from you and put in myself.
Thank you, yeah.
So
Right.
I can.
Right.
I do
Exactly.
have the ability. I don't know if I have the desire at this point in my life.
That's a good point.
And pergolas are very tall. I'm not a ladder person too much anymore. Now, what services do you supply? You have all types of different services. I mean, you can go down there. You've got a whole area of business cards. So if you don't do something, you have other people that you can recommend.
Yes. Really, we're not supposed to recommend anybody, and we try not to. But what we do is we allow the contractors that come in that have a good reputation. And we always say there's 3 things. 1, they can't owe us money. 2, we can't get complaints from them. And 3, they got to do good work.
Yeah.
So for the most part, we keep a section of cards from everything from plumbers to contractors to painters to landscapers to masons. And we always tell people, listen, take 3, 4, 5 cards and get more than one quote.
Right.
Because you want to make sure you can work with the person that you're giving your money to and that they're going to listen to you. So it's not just price, but they've got to look at a personality, make sure they jive with them so they can, get the project done without any aggravation or as little as possible.
When I'm looking to have things done in my house, I always go down. I say, okay, Dana,
Yeah.
who does this and who does that?
Yeah.
And you do the same thing. You say, here are 3 or 4 names and call them up, get your bids,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
see which one you think is going to be fit and which one has the time to do the job
And they
when
call
you
you
need
back.
it done.
Right. Yeah.
I think a lot of people get so hung up on price, they don't understand they've got to be able to work with this person, because inevitably when you're doing a project, things change. And
Yeah.
you say, you know what, that's too high, that's too short, I want it bigger, I want it smaller. The person you're working with has to have the ability to say, yeah, okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
And not charge you a whole lot extra.
I had railings done last year, and I used somebody that was from one of your cards. And when he came, it was, no, you know what? I think I want them to go 4 foot further down into the patio. And he's, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I thought I wanted was really not as much as I wanted. And he was helpful into showing me all of the options.
Yeah.
Which you really need to do. So you really do need to be able to work with the person.
Right, and I think that's where people are going towards now, is a lot more of the service orientated. They know what they want, but they don't exactly know the exact specifics of it. So
Yeah.
if you can hook up with someone that can give you ideas and get what you want done, well, there you go.
Yeah, you told me I can build a pergola, but I cannot do wrought iron railings. I knew I couldn't do those. Now, you also have things, there's a sign down there that mailboxes and a lot of smaller things
Yeah,
to help people along.
What we've done is we have a couple of customers down there that we allow them to display their materials there. There's one gentleman, as you had mentioned, that does mailboxes. He takes stone, drills holes, makes these gorgeous mailbox posts. So you can buy them there and install them yourself, or he'll come in and install them for you. We also have another company, Eric Peterson, who does a lot more of that artsy stone type stuff, where if you look, you'll see like Chinese symbols or crosses or mermaids or whatever he has done. We allow him to put his product there because it's just more of a selection.
Yeah.
And you can see what you do with stone.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's one of those, sometimes you don't really even think about, wow, would that really look wonderful in my front yard or backyard or
that's
whatever it
why
is,
we put
until
that
you
whole
see
thing
it.
in there. We put the whole walkway in there, the paver park we haven't talked about, but that's where all the fireplaces are, and people walk through there and they just see different ideas and different things. They don't know until they see them.
And every once in a while you have things going on down there, and I think it was for one of the organizations in town a couple of years ago, and you actually fired up one of the fireplaces and were cooking outside and
Pizzas,
people
yeah,
were
we did
eating
pizza oven.
outside.
with
and
the pizza,
it was nice because
Yeah.
I don't even remember what organization it was, but everybody went down to support the organization. But we also got to see how these things work. Like they do work. They don't just look pretty.
Yeah.
They actually work.
Actually, I think the one you're talking about, I think it was the firefighters in
Yes, it was.
Georgetown.
It was.
And they were raising money for, I think, a couple of fallen firefighters, and they were raising money for them. So.
And that's something that people can contact you about doing?
Yes, I mean, we just did 2 weeks ago. We just did the couple of gentlemen were trying to raise money for the Cooperstown group of Little Leaguers who were going out there. So they did a wine show for them, and the proceeds all went to them. We've done, obviously the library. We've done the library tasting for years. So
there's all kinds of things.
Yep.
Now, I was in the store recently, and rather than just going to the front of the store, I go in and I get what few little things that I need. I went into the newer section.
Sure.
And I would think I was looking for mouse traps or something like that. And that's huge.
Yeah.
It goes all the way back.
Now that
Not just the front, it goes all the way back to the back of the actual building.
Yeah.
It's huge.
So what that was the old showroom. We had an indoor showroom for years. So if you went
Okay.
in, we had pizza ovens in there and fireplaces and wine bars and things like that.
Which most people wouldn't even bother to do unless they were specifically looking for it.
Correct. And for years, the way things have changed, that worked out great because people come in, see it, it's inside. And then what we found was when we were able to move that whole section outside, we could expand it, show more, and then utilize the space inside to say, okay, instead of having, 20 feet of plumbing, let's go 40. And the same thing with each department. We tried to expand each department.
And it's one of those, when I go down there, quite often I'm looking for things you can't find other places. Mouse traps. Real mouse traps. Not the sticky ones that you can buy at a grocery store or something that the mouse sits there for days and twitches. A real mouse trap. Or cleaning supplies. Or light bulbs or shovels or just things that you don't want to have to leave town to buy it, number one. One, because you have to travel, and two, because I would much rather spend my money in Georgetown than spend it at a big box store. And you have almost everything that they carry at the big box stores now.
Well, the advantage of going with someone like Orgel, they're so big, we tell them, okay, we have 30 feet of cleaning products we'd like to bring in. They'll do the whole section, they'll bring it in and set it up, and then we have an iPad we go around and order now with instead of, writing everything down. And they've helped us do that with each section. So we've gotten rid of a lot of the old products that were just sitting there that, no one
dusty.
really uses borax anymore. And, they want, the newer stuff. So they come through and do that. And that's something we'll continually do until we get through the entire store. And then we'll start over again because things change.
Yeah.
So
The supplies change and what people want change.
people want change. What's out there changes.
So in general, what types of things do you supply? All hardware type things? Nuts and bolts and...
Correct, and that's the newest section we just did. We took the nut and bolt section and tripled it. So it really expanded that. We started carrying a little bit of lumber we're going to get more and more into in the next couple of years because Georgetown lumber went out and Estes lumber went out of business.
Right.
So people were asking for lumber, so we started bringing in a little bit of lumber, which will continue to grow that area. And then we handle everything, block, brick, stone, anything outside.
Mulch. A lot of people don't realize that you have mulch.
Yeah, we have mulch, loom, and then we just...
Stones, little stones for your driveway.
Yeah,
Pea
and
stone.
veneering stone.
And we just bought a whole garden center at a show that they'll be setting up next week. So that garden center that you saw is going to be torn down and a new section's going to be put together.
Oh, wow.
So,
That'll be neat.
yeah.
Now, what other shops are in that? It starts with the liquor store.
Yes.
So it was- yeah,
And I
then-
think people know that block mostly because of the liquor
liquor
store
store.
and
Yeah.
the hardware store.
Yeah.
Most people think, okay, that's what's there. But there's a lot more there now.
As you move down, there's Donna's store, which is the stone pantry.
Right.
Which is a gift and specialty store. And they do a lot of paint nights and wine tastings and wine classes and things like that in there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah,
Keep going
yeah.
down.
And then there's a Team League
Outfitters.
Outfitters, which sell athletic apparel. So if you have a soccer team or a baseball team or
She
lacrosse
does the
team,
shirts for them.
she does all the shirts for them. So
Oh,
she'll
okay.
do printing
for the
there.
teams.
Yep.
So she can actually print the shirts for any type of a team.
Any type of a team or anything. You want one shirt, you do one shirt, whatever. It's
Yeah, so she does all our printing.
And does she have other equipment for the teams too, or just
Yes.
just the, okay?
Yep.
So if somebody needs a mouth guard or,
Oh,
or the
yeah,
leg
yeah,
braces or
yeah,
okay, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then at the end we have a honeydew donut.
All right, and I think everybody knows what honeydew
and then out
donuts
back
is.
Yeah.
we have
Lots of donuts and lots of coffee.
That's hard
Yeah.
to stay away from, I'll tell you.
and out back.
Yeah. Now, if you go behind the building,
Yeah, so you
let's
have
say you go from the liquor store side, you go down that right side of the building. What are you going to see as you travel around the back?
so as you go around the back, out there is most of our stone. We carry all stone on the building side, so that'd be the left side. On the right side, our pavers start. And we go
Okay.
from concrete pavers into our clay pavers, into our granite cobblestones. As you keep going around the building, there's bins of loose material, so crushed stone and loam and stone dust and sands
And mulch.
and mulch.
Okay.
And then as you continue going around, out back in the very back building, there's a company called Hydraulics Plus. And they do hydraulic hoses. But they do every hydraulic hose from a 1/2 inch to 2 inch, and they're doing fantastic.
Now, explain to people what a hydraulic hose is, just so that they know.
Sure, anything that has hydraulic fluid running through it, so any trucks or loaders, backhoes, anything like that, they all have hydraulic hoses in them. They fix those. So they
Okay.
have the material there. You can bring the hose in. They'll fix it, which is a great service to have because there's not a lot of people that do that.
Yeah, that's why I'd never heard of anything around here.
Right. No, because it's more of an industrial thing, but a lot of the cities and towns will use them. A lot of contractors will use them. They're doing a job, they break a hose. It's hard to find someone to do that, and they do a great job.
And it's right here in Georgetown,
Georgetown.
which makes it easy.
Yeah.
So a lot of, from that perspective, you must have a lot of clients from Boxford, Topsfield,
Sure.
Ipswich, a lot of other cities, especially the ones that are smaller, that don't have anything to offer like Georgetown does. For a small town, we really have a lot to
Oh,
offer.
Georgetown's
Yeah.
great. It's a great little community.
Yeah.
Great
Now,
little community.
Stone Pantry.
Yeah.
You have some things that I go in and okay, it didn't dawn on me that you would have those things there, but you do.
Right,
So
right.
what types of things do you
Well, it
specialize
started
in?
out. It started out trying to things that would complement the liquor store and things. Actually, Dana was tired of me having the hardware store look like an antique place because I was like finding all the old stuff that my dad had there, and I was like, oh, I love that, like repurpose things. So we kind of moved down there. It evolved the things that we do. You know, the wine tasting. We do paint and wine sip nights. We have a wine and spirit night.
Now the
We
paint,
have
the
a-
paint was that's the one that you paint a whole painting in one night.
Yep, that's the acrylics that you do on
Yep.
the canvas. So we do that. Those are very
Those are
popular.
fun.
My daughter's done a lot of birthday parties in the, like for children, like 10 or 12 years old. That's becoming popular. We've just done a watercolor. We have Chuck. What is his Chuck? I can't think of his last name, but he's a
Margison?
Margison.
Oh, is it Chuck
yes.
Margison? Really?
Yes, he does watercolors
Oh, wow.
for us. He comes in.
He's-
He's great.
he's
Just
famous,
wonderful.
infamous famous.
He is. He's wonderful. So he'll do a class, and then we just have some, specialty things that would kind of complement the liquor store. Cheese,
I was just gonna say, you have a lot of
pepperoni.
specialty foods.
Yeah, and then I
You have
wanted
meatballs and ravioli,
yeah.
stuffed shells.
Well, I wanted
really good
something
ones.
that where Jen is, she brings a lot of families in, and I wanted some.
And Jen is
the Fright from Team League.
Okay.
You know, because they're picking up their children's shirts. If you go into the liquor store, I wanted a place where they could grab something to eat quick and go that was somewhat healthy and go. So we have Bianco sausages, the steak tips, Tripoli pizza, some Alfredo dinners. I have spinellis. Usually we have fresh bread. I have a lot of local artists that you wouldn't think. There's a woman in Georgetown that makes taffy, caramels.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Homemade
sea sour
caramels?
Yeah, she
Ooh.
does. And marshmallows, and you wouldn't know. There's
Right.
a lot of people that make a lot of things here. It's very nice. So.
And then seasonally, I've seen things in there, homemade mittens and hats
Yes,
and
yes,
all
we-
kinds of really neat things.
yeah, so it's kind of hard to explain.
So every time you go in, it changes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different things. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
they,
just
they do a lot of, they try to bring in a lot of local people. So there's
Yeah.
people from where we live up in Wells in the Kennebunk
Maine,
area
yeah.
where they have their products that we bring down. There's some people from Newburyport.
Newburyport,
and,
yeah.
certainly from Georgetown and Kittery, I think.
Yeah, Kittery
So-
has a couple, yeah.
So a lot of the local people who are coming
Yeah.
up with ideas.
We're getting better at it.
So it's one of those, if you're looking for something for a gift or to take to somebody's house because
Oh,
you've been invited to
definitely,
dinner,
definitely,
it's a nice place
yes.
to drop in and just see
Yes.
what's there.
Yes, yes, and I've done some small gatherings. If you know, I've had, because we have a counter out back, so we've done some small a book signing, some little gatherings. I've done,
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun, fun,
It
fun,
is,
fun.
It is.
Now, changes. There's been a lot of changes going on in the building.
Sure.
And the facings and when you go in to look at the building and you pull into the driveway, there's an in driveway and an out driveway.
Correct.
It's taken people a long time to realize that they're not both ways, each driveway. If there's an in driveway and an out driveway.
Hey, I find myself going the wrong way a lot of times.
I
So I'm like,
go the right way all the time.
So do I.
I do.
I don't, I forget.
What
I
else have
do.
you done? Because there's been a lot of changes out front.
Well, there's a little bit
A
better.
lot of the postings and
Yeah, a little bit better traffic flow through there.
Yeah.
That's certainly been a big benefit to us. You know, we're trying to cover up some of that brick that was on the building and put some nice stone up there. Certainly the overhang that's been there for the last, I don't know how long we've had that,
The
maybe
awning,
5 or
yeah.
6 years. Just make it more appealing. So when you come around that corner in Georgetown, it's not the eyesore that it was, that it's a little bit more a nice
And we're
entrance
working
to
on
the
a
town.
sign.
it doesn't
We're
look like
working it, yeah.
a hardware store.
Right, it's just a little bit more
Yeah.
that belongs in this area. A
Yeah,
little
because you
softer.
put the posts that are with the awning
Yes.
all have stone frontage on them now.
yeah.
and
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we
We
just-
didn't just
So
wanna
nobody
do-
will just knock them over when they pull into
No,
them.
no.
They
Those
were
are
good.
way down in the ground. We have a sign coming too that will mark kind of the front of the building.
Okay. So what other changes are going on?
Well, we have a lot more landscaping part to do. We, you know, planting a few more trees and giving it a little bit more of a fuller feel, so it doesn't look just a blank hot top. Put the islands in with trees on it. You know, we've planted arborvitaes along the side to block one of
Yep.
the neighbors to help try to keep that separate. Try to be courteous.
It seems to me when I look at it and compare it to what was there, it's more like a landscaping center,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then all the other shops than just a liquor store or just a
Right.
hardware store or just just storefronts. It's
And-
more like it's a center.
And I think that that's what we'd like it to
Yeah.
be. We'd like it to be more of an area. Our parking lot is huge. We're closed on Sundays right now. We'll take a look at our hours when we're going to change, if we're going to change more. But I was talking to one of the old town people that had been coming in for years. He came in on a Tuesday to see my dad, and we were talking about, we used to have road races there. I don't know if you remember that. You know, there'd be road races and the center would be there. And, you know, it would be nice to,
Like running road races?
they would have road races, and then back then, this was probably back in the late 70s, there was a two-board gold truck there, so if you ran the race, you got a beer.
Okay.
Not that you want to do that now, but
Yeah.
certainly it'd be nice to utilize that parking lot. You know, we had tossed around the idea of trying to get a farmer's market in there, or some type of a flea market on Sundays where the proceeds would go.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
The
we go
proceeds from
to-
the tables would go to a scholarship for the school. Those are ideas that Donna and myself have been kicking around and trying to put together. In the last 4 years, we took a big chunk of our time just trying to improve the facility, and we're always working to try to again enhance it, but then try to figure out what else we could use it for.
I was down there one day and there was a club there doing remote control cars,
Yes, that was on Sundays. We allowed them to
which
use
was
that
kind of
side.
fun. It was fun
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
They have little races down there. They were doing that. I haven't seen them do it recently, but those are all things that certainly on a Sunday when the hardware store is closed, there's not as much traffic that it could be used for. So we'd like to pursue something, use.
Yeah, something different. So other than that, any future plans? Any more changes?
Again, I can't express enough, just making it look better. The product mix, a better mix for homeowners and small contractors. And again, just to try to push it not as a building supply or a liquor store or a stone pantry, but push it
Everything.
as
I'd like everything.
As a center.
I'd like everything to
Yeah.
jive. It kind of already does. I mean,
shopping center.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that makes a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you get some more things done, come back and talk to us again.
Yes.
It took a little while to get him here in the first place, but he came.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you
so
very
much,
much.
Bill. Yep,
Yes,
It's been fun.
And thank
you for coming
Thank
again.
you very much.
And if anybody wants information, website
Do we have a website?
or
Yes,
email.
we do.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
we
See?
do.
Ask,
Yes, we
ask your
do.
sister. And it is?
Yes, Georgetown Building Supply .com, I believe.
Okay.
But I'm not quite sure on that.
Okay.
Well, we're trying to change up some of our brochures. We made a brochure actually for the whole plaza, so I'm just
Oh,
trying
that's
to
nice.
do it. Yes.
Okay.
So just trying to
And our
updo it a little
website
bit.
is coming too.
And you're in the phone book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll all be there.
Yeah.
It'll all be there. Okay,
Yes.
so go check out the plaza and
Thank
see
you
what's
very
going on.
much.
Thank you for joining
you.
us. I'm Beverly Enos, and you're watching Spotlight Georgetown. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Bye for now.